Faulario. 16 points over Lando Norris, 131.
Guests, along with all of the Formula One drivers.
Well, that was a very fun weekend to say the least. Cars going faster on the track is really cool. Who'd have thought? This was my first Formula One race ever to go to, and one of my first really track days or any sort of race event. So from a fan perspective, incredible. From a photography perspective, also incredible. The panning shots from this weekend were some of my favourite images I've taken with the X100VI thus far. And I won't lie, it was just a huge amount of fun playing around with no pressure and just having a good time seeing what I could come up with. I've not done a huge amount of car photography at all really, or movement, slow shutter speed, longer exposure photography, panning work. So this was a massive learning experience from start to finish. And what an opportunity to get to learn and just play around. The built-in ND, the IBIS and the digital teleconverter were an incredibly useful trio of features on the X100VI that made this kind of photography really easy to do, especially because we were sitting quite far back from the track in a grandstand. Having the digital teleconverter in particular allowed me to compose, pan and capture the images from that far away and be able to visualize the kind of post-processing crop if that's what I wanted to do, or if I wanted to just shoot JPEGs, being able to compose with the digital teleconverter and have that straight out of camera was really useful and enabled me to kind of have that zoomed in view, keeping them somewhat centered and be able to do the panning as such really effectively. So I was really surprised by how much I used that feature. If I was trackside for some of these shots, like I am, I didn't use it as much, but for being a bit further back in a grandstand, it made it really easy to do. And it was very, very useful. So again, big fan of the digital teleconverter on the X100VI. As for the actual shutter speeds themselves, I found anywhere in the region of 1/20th of a second to 1/40th of a second was the sweet spot for consistent sharp subjects while getting the panning movement as such. I did manage to get, however, a couple of slower shutter speed images, which were really cool, such as this image of an Alpha Tauri. I'm not sure if it's Liam Lawson or Isaac Hajar's, but that was about 1/6 of a second, all at 120, 125 ISO with the 4-stop ND filter built in being used. And that was a lot more look involved, I guess. It goes without saying, there's quite a lot of spray and pray high burst rate photography going from left to right as such, and you're hoping that one of these is sharp. Obviously with practice as the weekend went on, I got much better, but there's definitely a decent element of luck to go with the skill side of things with this panning photography. Most of the footage and the video side of things were from Friday and Saturday's practice and quali sessions respectively. As I was there as a fan, I spent most of the Sunday just wanting to watch the actual races, which some of you more keen-eyed viewers would have seen from this, that there isn't a huge amount of race footage or video. And that is, like I said, mostly because I was a fan, but also partly because a lot of the footage I took was using the slow-mo side of things on the X100VI, and compared to the regular 4K footage, it really doesn't hold up well, which is really surprising and disappointing. It's my first time using the slow-mo footage using 240p with this camera, shooting an F-Log2 like I do the 4K footage, and yeah, it's just quite noisy, grainy, soft, the colours are not great, and I don't really know why, if I'm honest. Having used the X-T32 and the X-T4 slow-mo footage in the past, granted, using F-Log as opposed to F-Log2, but that was much more usable and much closer in quality to the regular 4K footage that came out of both of those cameras. It's really disappointing. I love this camera. It seems to work really well for me as a package, but this is something that I'm really disappointed with, and partly because I don't know why. If any of you do happen to know, have some tips and tricks, please let me know down below in the comments. I will be looking into it further. If I'm honest, I just haven't had time to do it before I've made this video. Let me know down below as well if you want me to make a video talking about it a bit more. It might be a case of shooting an F-Log versus F-Log2, or just shooting in the film simulation, the kind of recipe side of things to keep the ISO down. Who knows? I don't anyway, and I would love to know why. So if you have any information, please put it down below in the comments. And a massive shout out as well to Alex Dunn, the Irish F2 driver driving for a Roden Motorsport in McLaren. That was very cool to see him win the F2 feature race, see the Irish national anthem being sung, and see the tricolour be raised. That was really cool from a national pride perspective and just a bit surreal. So fair play, that was really, really cool, and hopes the rest of the championship goes well. And to the Tifosi as well. It being in Italy for an F1 race was just a surreal experience, and the Italian fans are mental. If there's anyone in F3, F2, F1 or any of the Porsche Super Cup teams that would like a photographer to come along, you can probably find someone better, but I would love to do it, and I'm sure I'd get some cool photos. I know that won't happen, but feel free to let me know, because that would be sick. And as always folks, thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed the photos and the video. I tried to put it together as best I could, and the photos I think are really sick. Please feel free to like, subscribe and share the channel. Thank you for spending your time with me here on YouTube, and I hope to see you again in the next one. Have a lovely day.